In 2023, WCP launched a study to understand the illegal pangolin trade in Zambia to better inform local interventions. Through this study, traditional healers were identified as key stakeholders in helping reducing the demands for pangolins. Today, we speak to Dr. Rodwell Vongo, President of the Traditional Health and Practitioners Association of Zambia. Let's go. Thank you for allowing us into your residence, Dr. Vongo.
You're most welcome, and thank you for having me today.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think the question on a lot of people's minds that I think we should start with is, are you able to share with us what the traditional significance of a pangolin is in Zambian culture and in healing practices?
Well, in the Zambian culture and diversity, culture normally evolves, but with the evolving of culture and time, culture remains dynamic in that uh, the pangolin plays a very important role in the ecosystem and the biodiversity that God had created all these species for man to exploit. Say, go and take dominion. So spiritually, yes, and as medicinal. So both medicinal and for rituals and the libation. So you find the pangolin has a very important role in there, that it's spiritually identified and as a medicinal component.
Maybe you can give us an example of a specific practice that involves a pangolin, maybe in healing practices specifically.
It is highly potent in luck,
Okay.
business, and some people even use it for treating the fontanelle when the fontanelle can't.
For babies.
Yes, for babies.
Okay.
It's highly useful there. For luck, for business.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very helpful. I know that this is a question that I personally come across when I am in the field. And I think something else that I would like to ask is, have these practices remained the same because times have changed? Are these practices concerning the pangolin or even just wildlife in general, have they remained the same or have they changed over time?
They have changed I think they have changed over time, and with the escalation of population boom, with the escalation of disease burden. So you find that these practices have changed. And the escalation, the change of science, science also has brought in dynamics which now evolve the pangolin at a higher scientific level.
Okay.
So you see that traditionally we use it, the scientists will also use it in a different way because they have the laboratory to test and see that this is effective, this is has got healing powers and so on, and the efficacy of a pangolin. It can only be determined by a scientist. Is the pangolin holding any efficacy at all? It does. Is it spiritual? Yes, it does. Does the population need it? Yes, it's part of the ecosystem that the Lord has made. The Bible says, go and take dominion, take control, name them and take control of all the natural resources, the ecosystem, the biodiversity. And the pangolin is part of that.
Okay. I really like that we're starting to talk about science, Dr. Vongo, because now we are living in modern times. Do you think there are modern alternatives that can fulfill the same spiritual and medicinal roles that wildlife such as a pangolin takes in healing practices?
The pangolin is holistic. The pangolin plays a very important, for whatever the Lord made, there's a purpose. Man was made in God's image, isn't it? There's a purpose. The elephant was made, in a different way. So the pangolin also plays that role that it fits in very well with natural resources, spiritually and holistically. So holistically, that you don't just say there is pain, but what causes the pain. You don't just say there's a cough, but what causes the cough. So it is holistic in nature, so it must be approached in a holistic way.
Okay. All right. So I have been speaking to a lot of people about the our traditional practices, and I came across a certain woman who has completely changed the things she uses to be a bit more sustainable. So sometimes she uses what people will she'll use symbolic items. So instead of using, for example, a bone, she will use something that looks like a bone. So I guess my question under this is, I know many communities have started adapting. Do you see a future here in Zambia in which we start adapting to use certain herbal alternatives, or using symbolic items to continue the practice that we've had for a very long time and that is very useful to a lot of us, actually?
Yeah, instead of a traditional mat, we have the modern mat,
Yes.
the plastic one.
Yes, it
and
starts
so on.
slowly.
Instead of using reeds and all those, we are modernizing ourselves and changing with times. And instead of bones, we can use bamboos.
Oh, yes.
We can provide bamboos, which is
Yes.
a natural tree. But you instead of killing that animal to get the bones, to throw the bones for rituals and for divination, we're now going to use maybe a tree and shape it in a way that the bone played and fitted in for the bone, so that we don't have to kill that pangolin, we don't have to kill that animal. We can now use a tree and a bamboo or a reed, to replace that. So we are like adapting. So we're also evolving,
It's really
and
good to
catching
hear.
up with time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So there was a clay pot, very heavy, but now we have a plastic bottle.
Oh.
So we're evolving and we're modernizing by doing better things
Okay.
with less expense and without depleting the ecosystem.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's very, very reassuring. I want to know from you, how do you personally view the idea of protecting endangered species in Zambia?
Yeah, now WCP, I'm sure you are doing a commendable job. It's a noble cause, noble in the sense that with the escalation of population, now population boom, there will be scarcity of resources. There will be scarcity of everything. Unless we adapt, unless we evolve, the chances are that we are going to deplete. When we deplete, our children's children will have nothing to fall back to. You see, they will never see a pangolin, they will never see an elephant, they will never see a lion, they will never see all these crocodiles, they'll never see a hippo, a giraffe, tall as it is. So we need really to propagate these resources. We need to protect them. We need to reach out. And the pangolin is one of the first, because you rarely see them as a flock walking together.
Yes, they're very solitary.
They are solitary and very lonely, and so the breeding time is very limited. So your organization is doing a noble cause, is doing a commendable work, and I think the healers and the government of the day should support your organization.
No, thank you very much,
Because
Dr.
the
Vongo.
natural resources are getting less and less as population booms. So the demand will be high. Now, where there is high demand, it's a question of what the civics we learned in grade 7, that high demand means what? High prices. When there's high supply, everything is there, the prices go down. So you can imagine that this will continue escalating the prices because of demand. The population has grown, the supply will be low, the prices will escalate. So we need to preserve those species which are endangered, including hebo, including trees, yes, all trees. I used to dig my medicine 2 kilometers away. Now I have to go 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers to get the same trees that I got 10 years ago. Population, industrialization, all these that are increasing the population and increasing also the demand. So if the demand is high, the prices will be high. So we can only bring down the prices by producing more, preserving more, so that the supply supersedes the demand, and then the prices will come down.
I also really like that we're now talking about demand, because obviously my next question would be, given that there's a significant percentage of, especially sub-Saharan Africa, a lot of people still seek our traditional healers to help us in our primary health needs. What role do you think traditional healers have in helping reduce the demand for pangolins?
Yeah, that's a good one. The healers have a very important role, because it's like a carpenter. You can't do without timber. It's like a tailor. You can't do without materials. And we need our clothing. We need all this. So now the pangolin provides the medicinal values and spiritual rituals, and you name them. So if in absence of the pangolin, what are the healers going to use? So now, therefore, we need to protect this endangered species, and we need to preserve our culture, and we need also to make sure that our children's children, posterity will judge us very harshly if we don't protect these species which are endangered. Not only the pangolin, the elephant, the lion, the leopard, crocodiles, hippos,
the leopard,
all these porcupine,
the rhinos, yeah,
the porcupine, the
yes.
rhinos, the giraffe. They must be protected. They must be protected. They must also be propagated, so that our children's children will be able to use them. You use them sustainably
and benefit from them as well.
And benefit for the whole Zambia, for the whole world. Sustainability use of the pangolin and the other endangered species is paramount going forward.
Okay. I think my last question is, if a traditional healer was listening to us right now, what message would you give them with regards to the crisis of the pangolin? Their numbers are dwindling. The animal is currently endangered, especially here in Zambia. What message would you like? What's the one thing you would like them to go away with after they finish watching this podcast?
I think one is the sustainable use of it. Two is that there's a law that pangolins are protected by the laws of Zambia and globally also. So nobody's above the law. So many healers are languishing in prison today because they broke the law. So I warn my members that please let's observe the law. Pangolins are protected, the elephants, the rhinos are protected, the giraffes are protected. They must be left alone. Otherwise, if you are found with a piece of a pangolin, if you are found with the pieces or whatever of a porcupine, a lion, and so on, you'll be arrested by Zawa officials and you languish in prison. So let's observe the law. Let's be Zambians who are law-abiding. And if we use the pangolin, let's go to Zawa, get a permit. You say, I'm using just a pit. They will allow you to go where the carcass is and sell you a bit of it. But to just kill it or keep it like a dog, you are breaking the law, you'll be in prison. So that's what I would warn our members and the community as well.
No, thank you so much, Dr. Vongo, for your time.
You're welcome.
I think this brings us to the end of our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you for joining us. This episode is part of a 4-part series podcast highlighting WCP's efforts to protect pangolins in Zambia. Pangolins need more than compassion. They need resources. Your support means better care, expanded facilities, and trained hands for every new arrival. To donate, scan the barcode on your screen or visit www.wildlifecrimeprevention.com.